They'll run with Hunt on second down. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw. All day, every day, any day. Let's go.
Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
80 weapons. Five.
Here we go on 4th down with Locke. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. So they give it up just on their side of midfield, and yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, all right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Darnold from the gun. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. A first down throw, Darnold. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On second down now, Swift. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, Swift. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Get it.
On second down, here's Locke. And he finds Howard complete. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on third down, Locke. He's going to look deep down the field. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Charger drive about to get going. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. He's got it to Williams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Give them 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again is Darnold. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
45 the mark. Hey, I'm coming. Ready? Bravo. Check nickel. Lady.
So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Check 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on third down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
On is the Chargers punter now. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
Here we go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Topper, topper.
Slam.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Ready.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now this time, Locke will throw. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Ready. 18 Gator. Check smooth.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Yes.
First down, a run with Cohen. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
What we got?
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, as the first half is winding down, and the Broncos have taken the lead. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys.
And got his man complete. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, L.A. Keenan Allen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They're down here but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Tariq Cohen, 75 yards, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Come on, set.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They run again with Hunt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tight ends right. What's tight? Tight ends right.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Three down.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 18 big yards on that one and a Charger first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On play action, Locke. Well, this is caught by Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here we go, set, 18, Gator. Great zone, travel.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a good pickup on the ground of 7 yards, and time has run out on this 3rd quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
At the 34-yard line.
Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Now Locke, he lost the football, it's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Didn't get a whole lot there, but at least he got out of bounds, stopped the clock.
True on every count there because I know for a fact that when that call came in, it was tagged with these words. Make sure to tell him, if he doesn't have anything, get out of bounds. Save the time on the clock. Now they've got to start considering what their play calling is because they've got to push it downfield.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. A big run by Kareem Hunt, 45 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
6-6, pull it high.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Check.
Hey, lock it.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. A sizable gain there of 9 yards, but it's still 3rd and long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just 1-point completion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. He's got his man. It's Williams. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
57 Mike. Mike 57. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Now Darnold. He'll get this to Eckler. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Darnold now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Darnold now to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
We go set. 2 by 22. I'm here, man. Eddie. He's crossing. He's checking credit.
61, matchbox lights.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here.
Back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game.
So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, befitting a tight game like this, it all came down to the wire. But in the end, the field goal to win, it goes begging.
Oh, man, that is a tough way to lose a football game. You put yourself in position, and you give yourself a